Okay, so I'm back. I had a little chance to talk to my buddy, but unfortunately, he is tied up at the moment. So tomorrow he'll give me a call, and then we'll have our little powwow. So unfortunately, I won't be able to come back with the horror one until tomorrow morning, but it's all good. I needed to make sure we fact checked everything before we actually got started. So it's already blazing hot in here. So I'm gonna work for like another 30 minutes and I'll call it a night. I'll wake up a little bit earlier and we'll go from there. That rain that we had did nothing. Like it's currently 86 degrees in here right now, so it's not so bad, but still, like, I'd rather not fuck around and find out and pass out. So all right, let's get the show on the road. We got this started already. All right, do not fail me playlist, and it's already failed me because I know where this song's from. This is fucking Monster Girl Quest. Don't. I'm not even gonna get into it. This is definitely Monster Girl Quest. Okay. All right, so just to make sure, this fucking Monster Girl Quest, it definitely is. All right, we're gonna ignore it. So, guidelines for the video: no crazy theories, no chicane and Yasu rabbit holes. Again, we're not even going into that one. That's a big rabbit hole. Focusing more so on Battler as a whole. We aren't going to be doing episodic lore, more so approaching things from a different perspective. Okay. So when I did this earlier, we were... Okay, so we were talking about that earlier. So that's not a bad start. Okay. So let me just read this over again. Ushiromiya wears his skepticism and confident logic as a mask, not out of intellectual superiority, but as a defense mechanism to shield himself from deep emotional pain, guilt, and betrayal that he cannot directly confront. This video explores how his role as detective is less about uncovering objective truth and more about performing a persona that keeps his fragile heart safe, revealing emotional wounds hidden beneath the surface of his constant denial. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. It could be a lot better, but we can reword that later. The question at the heart of Battler's story is not our witch's wheel, but rather what truth is he so terrified to face that he must deny it at every turn. We will dive into psychological concepts, mythological parallels, and narrative symbolism to understand Battler's journey from denial to acceptance and from isolation to connection. Okay. So section 1 we had... Oh yeah, I actually did research that. I needed to make sure I refamiliarized myself with Goffman's concepts before I even wrote anything down. So I got something. So Battler's identity as a detective gives him a sense of control and distance from his emotional reality. By focusing on puzzles and logic, he avoids engaging with feelings of guilt and abandonment. This detective role functions like a stage performance where Battler is the actor and the audience creating perspective. The detective role functions like a stage performance where Battler is the actor and the audience, creating a protective narrative that prevents painful truths from breaking through. And we had, yet beneath this mask, emotional truths beckon, pulling him off script and exposing his vulnerabilities despite his resistance. Okay, so we'll go into a little bit more detail about this, but I did have time to actually review this earlier, so... Using sociological. Sociology, we meet again. Insights. Spell that right. Every single time. Alright. Alright, Monster Girl Quest. That's enough of you. Holy shit. Fucking Monster Girl Quest. What the fuck? Alright. There we go. I would have been able to keep a straight face. Alright. So, using sociological insights. How do I want to word this? Okay. I don't need to go into that much detail about it. So, using it sociological, God, Hoffman's perspective. The self. It was the self is performed. Self is performed. Self is performed differently. Self is performed differently. Hang on. Self is performed differently depending on its social context. Again, it took me a bit because I know the basic concepts of dramaturgy, but I didn't dwell way too deep into it when I was actually like looking up things back in the day. So it's I can do a Spark Notes like explanation of it, which I'm thinking about how I can actually word that right. The self is performed differently depending on social context. So the way it applies to Battler is his logic is a shield in a sense. Okay, we can do this. Okay. Depending on social context, in Battler's logical, Battler's logic persona is his. I can word this better. No, his shield. Shield's fine. Shield is his shield. Using sociological insights from Goffman's perspective, the self is performed differently depending on social context, and Battler's logic persona is his shield. That can be so much better. Like, we're gonna, after this, I'm gonna like redo this. So I can definitely word that a lot fucking better. This is just an outline, but OCD's gonna like beat me up tonight. Like, hey, you didn't word this right. Oh fuck. Well, looks like I gotta get up. Okay, so we don't need to go into that much detail about this right now, because again, this is just an outline. But I usually use like 4 bullet points. Then I normally, when I do my script, I expand on the basics of it, the basis of it. So I think we got the persona of a detective now, so we can talk about Battler's biggest weapon is his logic. Again, don't drink unless you're an adult. For God's sakes, don't do it. Just a fireball, but I know I'm gonna get piss drunk wasted tonight. But yeah, don't drink unless you're an adult. Okay, so going off of this, we talked about his persona as a detective. So since he's a detective, he's denying Beatrice's okay, yeah, he's denying the aspect of witches. So we can talk about his defense mechanisms in regards to that. We'll word this in this. We can approach this from a different perspective, in my opinion. So let's do this. Section 2, we'll call it Section 2. Betrayal. If I can actually spell for once, betrayal, trauma in defense mechanisms. Okay. So, as we know, Battler likes to deny. Battler will deny the existence of a witch. Battler's repeated I'll do this for 30 minutes, then I will go to sleep and wake up early. We'll do some more. So battlers repeated. Repeated denial. I'm gonna do a very weird take here. We're gonna do a very weird take here. It's gonna come full circle, I believe, but I'm gonna just give me a second to think how I want to approach this. But we're gonna do a funny. Okay, let's see. All right, bear with me. We're the purpose of this video is looking at things from a different perspective, from your usual Umineko lore stuff. Battlers repeat denial of witches and refuse to accept fantastical truths. Mirror. I cannot spell. Mythological. This is gonna be so weird. We can do this. Defense mechanisms. So, like denial, repression. Again, hear me out. Like we're gonna get this to work. And my personal favorite, dissociation, because everything always falls back to dissociation. That people use to cope. Yeah, we're doing this from a different perspective. Where this is gonna make it. I think it's gonna make sense. So just let me cook for a little bit. So this is a concept I was gonna use in the Vera video, but I decided not to do it because this doesn't technically apply to her. It could, but I wanted to use it for something else, and I think this is the perfect time to actually use this. So betrayal trauma occurs when someone you trust causes harm or abandonment, shattering our sense of safety, and it forces the brain. I can word this right. Give me a second. Forces the brain to suppress or avoid overwhelming emotions to survive, such as denial. There we go. Okay, so let's just go over this just to make sure we got something here. So Balor's repeated denial of witches and refusal to accept fantastical truths mirror real-world psychological defense mechanisms like denial, repression, and dissociation that people use to cope with betrayal trauma. So betrayal trauma occurs when someone we trust causes harm or abandonment, shattering our sense of safety and forces us to suppress or avoid overwhelming emotions to survive. Okay. Actually, no. This is the brain. This is gonna be a very interesting angle, that's for sure. I think we can get that to work. I really think we can get that to work. Okay. We can definitely get this to work. Because this is kind of sort of a rabbit hole, but we can take bits and pieces and roll with it, because there's a lot of shit that, if I go with this angle, a lot of shit gets opened up. I'm thinking aloud, just don't mind me. Skeptical. Sod. It's not. It's not a triumph. I cannot spell right now. Yeah, this can work. It's brain. Think about when Beatrice first revealed herself in episode 1. How much well, first of all, throughout the whole entire episode 1, the carnage that, and I quote, the killer was doing, that was affecting his psyche, that was affecting his mind. So in a sense, he built a fragile wall to keep unbearable memories and feelings locked away. Ooh, we can go with that. Beatrice was on some murder time, definitely in episode 1. We're not gonna deny that. She was using, I always joke about this, she was using the stakes as kunais. All right. It's right to keep. And again, this is good, because again, I was gonna end up doing a Umineko video soon. I woke up today, saw the comment on the Rosa video. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I was planning on doing a Umineko video soon. Might as well just do it now, because I just wrapped up Vera's video, and I'm only really working on Golden Sun and the other horror one. I need another thing to do, so might as well do this now. I'll get back to Metroid and lore files when this next batch is done. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do for lore files yet. I'm still thinking about it. His skeptical facade is not a triumph of reason, but a wall built by his brain to keep unbearable memories and feelings locked away. Okay. which is not good because this results it results in emotional withdrawal. This results on top of cognitive dissonance. All right. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. I need to fix that. That sounds terrible.